your starting lineup, starting with the visitors. Wearing 00 in net, Darren DeMeza. Number 2, defense, Ben King. Defense number 3, Isaac Dorsey. Defense number 4, Gabe Martin. Midfield number 5, Orlene Vasquez. Midfield number 6, Jose Camacho. Midfield number 7, Min Lee. Midfield number 10, Pablo Herrera Garcia. In attack, number 11, Nico Rivero. In attack, number 12, Andy Sullins. Defense, number 18, Tim Townsend. The head coach for 865 Alliance is Michael Meyer. Assistant coaches Joe Boyd, John Taylor, and Will Tercios. Now for the homestanding Georgia Storm. Wearing number 1 in net, Robert Bailey. Number 3, left back Greg Stratton. Center back number 4, Andrew Elkins. Center back number 5, Cesar Ripa. Left wing number 7, Harris Usman-Bazic. Center defensive midfielder number 8, Spencer Van Buskirk. Striker number 9, Lucas Bedlag. Center attacking unit number 10, Mauro Gutierrez Solis. Number 11, right back Justice, Jay White. Number 13, center mid Kevin Pierre. And number 30 on the right wing, Diane Dominguez. Head coach for the Georgia Storm, Joshua Evans, assistants Jacob Evans and Sasha Locke. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise if you are able and stand as we salute America with our national anthem. Your national anthem from the University of West Georgia Soccer Complex. Thanks for hanging out with us, however you are accessing us tonight, for action in the NPSL Southeast. The 865 Alliance from Knoxville, Tennessee, and the Hardin Valley coming to Carrollton and the University of West Georgia to take on the Georgia Storm. Coming into match week number 4, 865 Alliance coming in with a record of 1-1-1, 4 points on the season. They are in 4th place currently in the Southeast Conference on goals scored this season behind Appalachian FC. Georgia Storm coming into tonight with a record of 0-2-1 with 1 point on the year, having scored 3 goals, given up 6 in the first 3 match weeks. John Nelson here. I'll be doing play-by-play for you tonight. Storm Chasers have lighted the blue and white smoke, and wouldn't you know it, it's drifting into the press box. Wouldn't be soccer in the NPSL Southeast, and wouldn't it be the Storm Chasers otherwise if we didn't have the proper greeting here for the home match tonight. Thanks for watching us on 11 Sports tonight. And thanks to the production crew, thanks to Veter for all of the technology in the pictures. Captains shaking hands. And 865 Alliance, they're going to be in their dress whites. White jersey, white shorts, white socks. Georgia Storm in their dress blues, blue jersey, blue socks, and black shorts tonight. Andrew Elkins wearing the captain's armband. Ben King wearing the captain's armband for 865. Both teams coming out in their 4-3-3. And we'll introduce them all to you as we go after first touches. Once again, as you are watching the match here this evening, 865 in the first 45 minutes will be going from left to right in their dress whites. Georgia Storm will be going from right to left in their dress blues. For Georgia Storm, Robert Bailey in net. Lucas Bedleg up top as your striker. Damian Dominguez on right wing. Andrew Elkins will be a part of your back line. Mara Gutierrez Solis will be a part of the attacking midfield. We are now underway here at the University of West Georgia. Haris Osman Bazic wearing number 7 on the left wing. Kevin Pierre, your center mid, wearing 13. Cesar Ripa wearing 5 as a center back. Left back Greg Stratton, number 3. Spencer Van Buskirk, a central defensive mid, wearing number 8. Jay White, your right back, wearing number 11. 865, building out of the back, working down the right-hand side. Touch coming forward. Lane Vasquez had it briefly. Back to Ben King. Right to left to Gabe Martin. Martin gets the return pass. Pressure from Georgia Storm. And Darren DeMeza in net for 865. Center circle after a bit of a hesitation. Touched on the right-hand side to Vasquez. Vasquez thought about working down the right-hand side, inside instead. Yielding back and building forward once again, 865, this time up the left-hand side. Andy Sullins trying to get away from the defense of Georgia Storm. The name's familiar with Andy Sullins. Spent time coming through the Atlanta United Academy. Had some time with Atlanta United too before being at the University of Virginia in the ACC. Getting some work with 865 here in the NPSL. Flick down the right, goes over the touchline, so it'll be a throw for Georgia Storm here. Minute and 45 seconds into the first 45. 2 other matches tonight in the NPSL Southeast. We'll keep you up to date on those as best we can. King back to DeMeza. Over to Gabe Martin. Camacho was there to help to the right. Instead gives to Sullins, that big presence that 865 Alliance has. Sullins tried to force it through. Muscles possession back for 865. Now center circle. Give to Pablo Herrera Garcia. Turns to work back to his left.
Yes,
865 trying to work up the left-hand side, goes over the far touchline. It'll be a throw for Georgia Storm. Up the right-hand side, trying to find Lucas Bedleg. The defense was there for 865 instead. Back to DeMeza. Say it was last touch despite the lobbying by Dominguez. Last touched by Georgia Storm. Be a throw for 865. That connection didn't work, so it's going to be a chance here for Georgia Storm. 18-yard box extended, so probably a little more than 20 yards away. Over on the far touch, Jay White looking for a target inside the 18, up into the air. Sullins is there, swats at it, doesn't clear it all the way out. Once again, Georgia Storm gets the chance to reset. Charge looking in, overcooked on the pass, looking at the back post for Osman Bazic, who has one of the goals on the season for Georgia Storm, and it's going to be a goal kick for 8-6-5 as we are now here late 4th minute, heading to minute number 5.
Yes, sir.
4-3-3 starting out for 8-6-5 and Michael Meyer. Long pass completed to Sullins. Sullins got his pass completed to Nico DeVetto. Swatted away by the Storm defense, but 8-6-5 will regain possession just shy of center circle. Looking for Vasquez. Vasquez couldn't quite keep possession very long. Having to rebuild once again, 8-6-5. Min Lee had possession, lost it. Pressure was there from Storm. Picked back up on the left-hand side by Isaac Dorsey. Dorsey getting pressured by 2 Storm players. Pass intercepted. Chance was there for Jay White. He couldn't keep possession, but last touch by 8-6-5, so it'll be a throw for Georgia Storm as we now turn 6th minute. And Storm will work out of the back in their defensive half. Cesar Ripa with a bit of a back and forth. To Andrew Elkins. Elkins with some pursuit from behind goes for the long launch. Jay White is there to gain possession. Tried to go to Osman Bazic. Ended up going behind him. DeMeza is there to grab inside the 18. He'll try to calm things down a little bit. He'll wind up and throw with the right and try to work it up the the left-hand side. As he found Gabe Martin. Adetta Garcia had possession. Looking to Nico DeVetto up the left-hand side. Rivera. Nice touch to keep possession there for 8-6-5. Now charging up the right-hand side. Vasquez. Quick work with Camacho. Throw for the Storm now. Up the left-hand side, early 7th minute. Ripa and Elkins. Elkins has Robert Bailey as an outlet, as did Ripa. Ripa worked it right up the center of the field. Osman Bazic. He's looking for the switch. He'll get a lot of air underneath it. Headed down, and it will end up in DeMeza's hands. Chance was there for the Georgia Storm, headed down by Damian Dominguez. 8-6-5 now getting pressure from Georgia Storm as they tried to attack up the right-hand side. Header 1, 2 headers. Ripa settles. Now at the left-hand side, Osman Bazic. Osman Bazic on the dribble, step overs. Thinks about cutting it to his left. And they're going to say Osman Bazic had it last. Last touch goes to him. It'll be a goal kick for DeMeza and 8-6-5 Alliance. Halfway through the 8th minute. Here in Carrollton, Georgia. Other action tonight. At the Ortho Carolina Sportsplex, Georgia Revolution visiting Charlottetown Hops. Appalachian FC makes the trip to North Cobb Christian School to take on Apotheos. Fouls there on Dominguez. We'll take another look. Dominguez coming from behind. Camacho trying to find Sullins. There on defense was Jay White, keeping an eye on Andy Sullins. Andrew Elkins now. Elkins looking up the right-hand side. Found his target in Lucas Bedleg. 2 players and a third there for 865. They're going to say 865 touched it last on that double team, and it's going to be a throw for Jay White. Foul there as Mauro Gutierrez Solis tried to keep possession for Georgia Storm. Gutierrez Solis was fouled. Take another look at that real quick. Push in the back. Second push, knocked down. That's why you get your whistle. Ripa for Storm, trying to direct a little traffic with the right hand. Greg Stratton passed into the middle. Ripa had to pounce on it. He'll send it all the way back to Robert Bailey. Elkins thought about working up the right-hand side. Pressure coming from 865, so they'll go up over the top, into the middle, and Cesar Ripa once again. Ripa with the left, looking into the corner. Headed away by Isaac Dorsey. It'll be a throw for Georgia Storm. 20, 25 yards or so away from goal as the ball ended up in the 865 bench. Jay White. Van Buskirk. Back to Cesar Ripa. Ripa center circle. Stratton had Osman Bozic trying to cut in front of him, was double teamed, pulls it back to Ripa near center line. Ripa along the ground. Possession won by Josue Camacho. Camacho on the right-hand side to Orlin Vasquez. Vasquez, edge of the 18, Ripa marking him. Thought about 2 crosses, thinks about it for the 3rd time. Ripa's there to defend and keep the cross from happening inside the 6, but it will be a corner for 865 Alliance here halfway through the 11th minute. So Orlin Vasquez will take. Looks like it'll be an outswinger with the right. Let's see what 865 has in mind. Andy Sullins tried to cut toward the edge of the 6, pulled back, looking far post toward the penalty spot, looping all the way out. Camacho keeps possession, wants to wind and fire wide pretty much of everybody, including Orlin Vasquez, and it will be a very, very deep throw for Georgia Storm. This gives a chance for 865 Alliance to press. Possession won by 865. Nicely done there by Herrera Garcia. Back and forth continues. Toward the top of the D, wanting to wind up and fire was Nico Rivero. Didn't quite happen. Still kept possession. Brought it back to Min Lee. Lee to Isaac Dorsey. Dorsey toward the penalty spot. Headed up into the air by Elkins. And Storm have a bit of a transition opportunity here. Osman Bozic cuts it towards center circle. Thought he could find on the through ball Lucas Bedleg. That was not going to happen. And so here comes 865 again. Bedleg gave the thumbs up, recognized the idea by Osman Bozic. And DeMeza now working back and forth. Chip towards center circle. First touch. Kept nicely there by Nico Rivero. Charging into the middle was Vasquez. He couldn't quite keep control. Through ball. Osman Bozic keeps possession for Georgia Storm just outside the penalty area. He cuts it inside, wants to wind with the right, up and over everything. And going to need a little help in getting that ball back inside the soccer complex. It'll be a goal kick for 865 Alliance. And they'll waste no time. Starting late 13th minute as we're about to turn the clock into the 14th minute. You see it launched over the fence. And over the netting past that. So if anybody could help us, that'd be great. Jay White Told he can come far forward by the AR. Might have come a little too forward. Into the corner to Dominguez. Dominguez tried to turn away from the pressure from 8-6-5. It ends up being a corner for Georgia Storm. Halfway through the 14th minute. Gutierrez Solis looks like he will take, and this will create an interesting situation here, at least in the first 45. Outswinger with the right for Gutierrez Solis, but he is staring directly into the sun. Right hand into the air, a lot of charging toward the top of the 6, toward the penalty spot. Header settled down by Greg Stratton outside the 18. Osman Bozic. Volley attempted by Dominguez. On the cross, Ripa keeps possession, finds Van Buskirk. Dominguez couldn't quite keep possession. He wanted a handball off of the clearance attempt. Van Buskirk, and he's knocked down, and you're going to get a foul called on Vasquez. And it's going to create a set-piece opportunity. There's Van Buskirk with possession. Knocked off his feet by Orlin Vasquez. So it will be a free kick, probably at a 45-degree angle, probably 26 or 7 yards away. Two-man wall for 8-6-5. Van Buskirk. Looks like it's going to be an in-swinger with the right. Hand in the air, Van Buskirk looking far post. DeMeza grabs easily. Had it tracked the entire time. Chance was there for Georgia Storm early in the 16th minute. We're still goalless. .865 trying to charge out of the back. Dominguez wins possession for Georgia Storm. Camacho ends up with it for 8-6-5. Circling back to help. A couple of the defenders. Pablo Herrera Garcia. Herrera Garcia trying to direct a little traffic. Sends it to Ben King. King goes long. The right. Playing center field was Andrew Elkins. Dominguez couldn't keep possession, but Jay White is there to help out. Elkins goes back to Robert Bailey. Bailey looking up the left-hand side. Stratton had the first touch. Vasquez wins it away from him. Vasquez gets past Stratton, tries to center it toward the top of the 6. Chances there, cleared away just in time by the defense of Georgia Storm. You could see Nico Rivero trying to close and try to go for the slam dunk, but the defense was there. It looked like it was Andrew Elkins. And you saw the closing of the space by Nico Rivero. He really wanted to smash the ball home for the first goal of the match for 8-6-5. Didn't quite happen. Elkins was there. 8-6-5 once again back in possession early 18th minute, looking for Sullins. Long ball down the left-hand side. Sullins will get there, but he can't quite keep possession as he wanted to try to turn the corner. Defended by Jay White. It'll be a goal kick. Ripa. Back to Bailey. Bailey sending it long, headed down. 8-6-5 once again, right in the middle. Herrera Garcia. Sullins trying to find Herrera Garcia down the left-hand side. Elkins is there to defend. Dominguez kept it in briefly, then gained his footing. Back to Jay White. Well done there by Georgia Storm. Pass intercepted by 8-6-5. Closing the distance was Isaac Dorsey. Stratton wins it back for 8-6-5 for Georgia Storm. Tried to through ball to Osman Bozic. Defended well by the visitors, and it's going to go all the way back to Darren DeMeza. Pressure from Georgia Storm, forcing the back line to be very active, passing back and forth, trying to draw Storm forward. Herrera Garcia trying to work with Ben King. King spins away from Gutierrez Solis. Jay White closing the distance, trying to go to the top of the 18, looking for Lucas Bedleg. 8-6-5 wins it back. Now just past center line up the left-hand side. Good stutter step and start. 8-6-5 had it, lost possession. Charging. Once again, Gutierrez Solis looking down the left-hand side on the switch. Osman Bozic is there. Townsend defending. Osman Bozic wants to wind up looking far post, and the chance was there for Dominguez. But shielding nicely was Isaac Dorsey. Let's take another look at it. Osman Bozic step over, wanted to try to create a little space with the right. Ball was deflected, popped up into the air. At least it looked like the rotation of the ball changed. They went ahead and said goal kick, so 8-6-5 once again in possession. Gabe Martin up into the air. Up and over Vasquez. Osman Bozic tries to track it down. He does. Last touch by 8-6-5, and there to throw will be Greg Stratton. Stratton up and over Vasquez. Trying to go over the top to keep possession was Bedleg. He could not. Here comes Andy Sullins in 8-6-5. Cutting to the inside, Herrera Garcia. He thought about winding it up. Through ball, looking for Sullins. Can he get there? No. A little too much on it. Appreciation of the ideas there by Andy Sullins. Early 22nd minute. And we are goalless here in Carrollton. Robert Bailey waving everybody forward. Launches into it. Long ball past center circle. Header won by 8-6-5. Second touch won by 8-6-5. Stratton is there for Georgia Storm. Gives it back to Cesar Ripa. Had Van Buskirk in front of him about 3 feet. Finally does pass it to him with the pressure from Vasquez. Now up the left-hand side, here comes Storm. Kevin Pierre. Osman Bozic wound up. Feeling that one most certainly is Ben King. The inside of the left leg. Osman Bozic bumped by Vasquez, tries to get it past him. Ball deflected, popped up into the air. Stratton wins it, gives to Van Buskirk. Stratton with a little bit of room. Stratton trying to find Bedlag. 8-6-5 was there to intercept. Herrera Garcia going long over the top, trying to get it to Sullins. Charging out of the 18 was Bailey. Got there first. But 8-6-5 dialing up the pressure. Once again, Kevin Pierre. Pierre. Jay White. Not enough on it as he was looking for Bedlag. 8-6-5 once again with possession. Ben King. King up the middle, Herrera Garcia. Over to the attacking left. And Gabe Martin. Back to King. King had pressure from behind from Bedleg. Goes to Townsend. Townsend ends up going back to DeMeza. Cycle starts all over again at the left-hand side. Sullins tries to get away from Pierre, sprinting down the left. Jay White tripped up from behind, and you're going to get a foul called on Min Lee. There's the ball over the top. Nice idea by Sullins. Jay White gets his heels clicked, and you get the foul call right there on Min Lee. Center circle, Georgia Storm. Stratton back and forth with Gutierrez Solis looking. Bed leg, flag is up. Once again, the recognition of the idea. Great idea by Gutierrez Solis. As we are now early 25th minute goalless here at the University of West Georgia. .865 Alliance and Georgia Storm tonight. One of the 3 matches in the NPSL Southeast. Gutierrez Solis from Pierre. Pierre toward the top of the D, and you're going to get a foul right at the top of the arc. Set piece opportunity for Georgia Storm. Let's take another look at it. Gutierrez Solis gives to Pierre. Pierre, big step 1-2, and then the contact from behind by Herrera Garcias. Gives Storm a set piece opportunity here as we end the 25th minute and get into the 26th. Stratton is there. Gutierrez Solis is there. And literally this right is at the top of the arc. 4 in the wall for .865. Let's see if Stratton gets to bend it or if it is Gutierrez Solis. It will be Stratton. Stratton up and in! Greg Stratton from just beyond the top of the arc. Halfway through the 26th minute, gets it past Darren DeMeza, and it's 1-0. Up over the wall of 4 into the upper corner. Gorgeous work right there over DeMeza and into the back of the net. Stratton's first goal of the year. Storm have the lead 1-0. So Storm keeping the pressure on. Here's Gutierrez Solis on DeMeza. DeMeza has to get rid of it, forced into a pass to Sullins. Sullins did well to keep possession for .865, and here they come back the other way. Nico Rivero had possession, couldn't keep up with it after the heavy touch. It'll end up being a goal kick halfway through the 27th. But they're going to say Storm touched it last, so it'll be a corner. And it looks like Min Lee will be the individual to take for .865. Looked like the contact was clean all the way through, but they say that Georgia Storm touched it last. So it's a set piece. It's a corner. Min Lee. And the center ref asking to kind of hold things up a little bit. Be careful with the pushes. Be careful with the high elbows. Is everybody in the 6? A bit of a warning across the board. So Min Lee, in swinger with the right. What does Lee have in mind? Plays it short. Quick with Vasquez. Couldn't quite complete the pass to the 1-2. Osman Bozic. Good touch. Does he keep it into the touch to himself? Yes, he does. It's 1-on-3. He's going to need a little help. Step overs. Thought about the cross. Pulls it back. Slips down, and all of that work ends up coming back the other way to .865 and Sullins, who's marked by Jay White. Herrera Garcia up and over Ripa. Too much on it, and it's going to go back to Robert Bailey for a bit of time killing, bit of hands on knees. And he finally does grab it as Nico Rivera was closing distance, had to within about 2 or 3 yards. Bailey finally does pick it up. And he'll start it off the right-hand side with Andrew Elkins. Sullins closes distance. Back to Bailey. Elkins now pushes it past Sullins. Jay White was looking for Bedlag, and the defense was there for 8-6-5. Center circle. Nicely done there. Herrera Garcia with possession. Here's Townsend. Townsend gets it back from Herrera Garcia. Toward the top of the 18, headed away by Ripa. Gutierrez Solis in possession. Has some support ahead of him in Dominguez. Touch and spin, kept possession, nicely done by Damian Dominguez. Gets past the defense once again, looking for the cross on the ground. Bedleg is there, he'll grab it. Back heels to himself, a little physical play. It does not go over the end line. As the defense was there, standing up was Ben King to keep Lucas Bedleg from getting any kind of a shot on frame. And there's the end of the play as it goes out, and it's going to be a throw for Georgia Storm and Jay White. Late 30th minute. Greg Stratton on the free kick just beyond the top of the arc. From about 22, gets it over Darren DeMeza, goes upper 90 with it. And that's the margin of the game right now at 1-0. Sullen swats it over his shoulder, ends up in the 8-6-5 bench. It just gives a little bit of breathing room for the 8-6-5 defense. Jay White will throw it once again, probably a good 35 yards from goal or so, over on the far touchline. Bedlag couldn't keep possession, knocked off his feet by Josue Camacho. Back and forth continues. Elkins headed it. Herrera Garcia was there for 8-6-5. Elkins gets it again, loses his footing. Backtracking nicely was Pierre to keep possession for the Storm. There's Stratton, the goal scorer, to Cesar Ripa. Van Buskirk gets it past Herrera Garcia. Gutierrez Solis. Stratton. Osman Bazic. Gutierrez Solis. Inside run by Stratton. He gets inside the 18, but he stood up by two 8-6-5 defenders. Nicely done there by Josue Camacho. Gutierrez Solis gets it back for Storm. Dominguez tries to spin away from Isaac Dorsey, gives himself a little bit of space. Sullen's coming back to help out defensively. Those long legs getting the ball toward Bedleg at the top of the 8-6-5's defense is there. Trying to dial up the pressure defensively, but the Storm is there to answer the call. There's Ripa now with Van Buskirk near center circle. Pierre in center circle. Stratton playing a more advanced role on the inside channel. Jay White sweeps it in looking for Bedleg. Defense is there for 8-6-5 in the form of Gabe Martin. Ball popped up into the air. Van Buskirk, heavy touch, keeps possession. Storms his way through, and you're going to get advantage played, it looks like. Osman Bazic tries to get around Vasquez. And Townsend will track it down and keep an eye on it as it goes over the end line. Goal kick for 8-6-5. Physical play really dialing up here in the last couple of minutes. Halfway through the 33rd minute. Storm with the only goal on the board off of the Stratton free kick. Pierre got in the way of that pass, heads it to Van Buskirk. Van Buskirk to Stratton. Pierre. Bedleg playing a little deeper, and you're going to get a foul there. Frustration on losing possession. Fouls Min Lee. It'll be a free kick for 8-6-5 Alliance. Let's take another look. Loses possession, tries to gain it back, clips Min Lee, and that's your foul. Down the left-hand side, Camacho thought that the run was going to be there down the left channel. No one was there, so it'll end up being a throw for Jay White. Near the Storm bench, Van Buskirk has to close distance. Wasn't a whole lot of velocity on the throw. You got a foul called on 865. Pierre gained possession near center circle, gives it back to Ripa. Ripa will go all the way back to Robert Bailey. Bailey over to Elkins on the right-hand side. Centrally to Van Buskirk and returned. Elkins into Pierre. Distance closing on 865's defense. Herrera Garcia wins it for 865. Wanted the flag to go up on the pass from Vasquez to Nico Rivero, and they do get the flag to come up on from the AR for offside. Early 35th minute. We'll take another look. You see the run there. Run a little ahead of time on Nico Rivero, and that's where your offside comes from. So now halfway through the 35th minute, here comes Georgia Storm again. Elkins trying to find Dominguez. Bit of a push in the back. Ball popped up into the air. Held up into the breeze a little bit. Back and forth continues. Jay White, nicely done to Pierre. Pierre gets away from Andy Sullins. Elkins, head up, back to Pierre. Nice little chip there to Jay White. White going big switch. Picked up by Stratton. Stratton tries to separate from Vasquez. He cannot, and here comes Tim Townsend. Townsend combining with Vasquez. Well done there by Ripa. Nice slide tackle to get possession back for Georgia Storm. Pierre to Elkins. And Jay White. Dominguez, double team. Sullins tries to get around a couple of Storm players, keeps his footing, gets past Dominguez. Elkins has an eye on him. Sullins with the step-overs. Elkins with the block. Herrera Garcia comes up late for the backup. Pass didn't have a whole lot on it. There was a chance was there for 865 and Min Lee, who was charging. But Bedleg now. Gutierrez Solis, through ball, looking for Osman Bazic. He'll track it down, side of the 18, looking toward the 6, through the goal mouth, through the 6. Chance was there for Georgia Storm. Townsend bumped by Gutierrez Solis. And it's going to be a throw. Let's take another look at this. Osman Bazic with the cross through the 6. DeMeza kept an eye on it. Goes through and it ends up being a throw for 865. Dorsey looking for Sullins. Back to through Herrera Garcia, who will now have possession. Looking for Sullins. Telegraphed, easy. Jay White. Pierre has Van Buskirk behind him. They're going to say that Herrera Garcia guilty of a foul, getting a bit of a talking to from center F. Looks like Jay White right towards center line, right at center line here halfway through the 38th. We'll start things up all over again. Back to Elkins and Ripa. He's got Stratton to his left, Van Buskirk ahead of him. Leads Van Buskirk nicely. Stratton. Into the middle, Gutierrez Solis with space. He's got some help to the right, and it's Dominguez. Defended well by 865, Andy Sullins. Jay White marking him. Waiting for that burst of speed, and the next decision from Sullins. He'll cut it inside. He'll find a passing partner in Min Lee. I'm going to say that Lee touched it last, and it'll be a throw for Georgia Storm. Pierre on the ground to Van Buskirk right at the elbow. Dangerous place, double team, gets out of the double team. Pierre pushed from behind, and you're going to get a foul called there on Josue Camacho. You see the pass, there's Van Buskirk, and the push in the back, Pierre goes down, and the foul on Camacho. Halfway through the 39th minute, the one goal on the board from Greg Stratton 13 minutes ago. That's been the difference. Stratton in possession right now, getting away from Orlean Vasquez. Gutierrez Solis lost possession briefly. Elkins was there to back him up. Dominguez trying to get away from Isaac Dorsey. Dorsey sends the ball over the fence. Need a little help with that one, so that makes 2 now. Halfway through the 40th minute. Gutierrez Solis tries to get away from Herrera Garcia. So does Jay White. Pass return. Pierre. Gutierrez Solis. And you're going to get a foul on Camacho as Gutierrez Solis was trying to charge in on the 45-degree angle right at the edge of the 18, about 25 yards out. There's Gutierrez Solis, gets past Sullins. Doesn't look like there's any contact there, but they get the foul call. So it'll be a set piece from 23, 24 yards or so on a bit of an angle. So Gutierrez Solis is there. Van Buskirk is there. There's a Gutierrez Solis with the right, Van Buskirk with the left. Gutierrez Solis looking far post, up into the air. Dominguez off the shoulder, and it ends up being a goal kick. And just as a matter of public record, it looks like Gutierrez Solis's 0 in his number 10 might need some ironing work to get back on the jersey for the second 45 minutes. Kind of flapping in the breeze a little bit. Chipped into the attacking half. Nico Rivero trying to get past Elkins, cuts it back. And you're going to get a foul on Rivero instead. Rivero, once again, Rivero with the takedown there of Jay White as he was trying to create a chance inside the 18. So halfway through the 42nd, Robert Bailey to Van Buskirk, and we'll start it up all over again for Georgia Storm. Pierre in the middle. Over to Jay White. Vasquez now on the left-hand side for 865. Back and forth with Camacho. Van Buskirk gets the right leg in the way. Gains possession back for the Storm. Up the left-hand side, it's Stratton. Stratton with a lot of space gives to Gutierrez Solis, looking for Bedleg. And here's Andy Sullins now on the right-hand side attacking for 865. He's got a lot of room. Ripa trying to close the angle. Gutierrez Solis is there with him. Anticipated well by Ripa on the pass. Gutierrez Solis up the left-hand side to Van Buskirk. Slept nicely, trying to keep it going forward. Townsend's there for 865. Sullins now working quickly, 865. In the middle, Min Lee. Camacho on the right now for 865. He'll go to the back to Ben King. King to Gabe Martin. Min Lee. Rivero trying to get away from Pierre. Back to Min Lee. And once again return to Nico Rivero. Gets past Dominguez. Orlean Vasquez. Min Lee. Bedleg. Tried to win possession back quickly. Both players hit the ground, and it's going to stick with 865. Once again, Min Lee in the middle. Sullins. Give and go. Give was there. The go was not. Backtracking is Stratton. Looking for Bedleg. Van Buskirk wins it back quickly for Georgia Storm. Pierre trying to sprint past Orlean Vasquez, finds Dominguez. Dominguez trying to get around not one but two defenders. Couldn't get past Isaac Dorsey, but they're going to say that Dominguez touched it last. Dorsey will throw it forward for 865. Herrera Garcia. Vasquez couldn't get there first. Dominguez does. Give to Cesar Ripa. Stratton, the Missouri State product. Last year played at Chattanooga FC. Has the one goal on the board, the set piece in the 26th minute. Interesting to see how many minutes, if any, are added to the first 45. Dominguez looking for Gutierrez Solis, got hip checked. And Gutierrez Solis goes down. Double teamed and hip check. Gutierrez Solis is down, and so from about 28 to 30, here's the work that was done leading up to it. There's Dominguez. Gutierrez Solis. And it was Ben King and Gabe Martin that were there to prevent any further movement. So Van Buskirk here, probably with one of the final acts of the first half. Looks like he's about 35 away. There's Gutierrez Solis. Good to see that he's up. So what does Van Buskirk have in mind as he kind of stares into the sun, shielding his eyes toward the far post a little bit? Looking far post, headed in! But the flag is up. Good idea by Georgia Storm trying to get Elkins on the scoreboard, but having to come back quickly. Sullins in transition. After the offside flag was up, Andy Sullins cuts it to the left, tries to get a foul drawn on Elkins, and he will. Stands up Elkins. Sullins with a bit of a push. Elkins not taking any guff from Andy Sullins, the UVA product. Elkins, the graduate of AUM, Gulf South All-Conference, All-Region, and an NCAA Elite 8 appearance as a captain. Last year, Elkins was a part of Fear the Fur with the Tri-Cities Otters. And Elkins and Sullins getting a bit of a talking to from Center F, getting the official warning. Whatever it was you were just doing, don't do any more of that. So, this could be one of the last acts of the first 45. Andy Sullins trying to do a little plotting and planning from about 25 yards away. So is it Sullins with the left? No. Up and over everything with the right was Nico Rivero. And that'll do it for the first 45. Back and forth action, but it was the one moment in the 26th minute. The set piece from Greg Stratton, his first of the year off the free kick, goes upper 90 over Darren DeMeza. And your score after the first 45 minutes of play here in Carrollton, it is Georgia Storm 1, 865 Alliance 0. We'll be back to the beginning of the second half to take you through the second 45 and talk you through the rest of the NPSL Southeast. You're watching Georgia Storm Soccer on 11 Sports.
Oh, you can play some. you gotta go potty? All right, let's go. But I wonder if it was peer pressure too. By one of them. Because they know Kellen will say anything.
Are you okay?
Welcome back to the University of West Georgia Soccer Complex, getting you ready for the second 45 minutes. Homestanding Georgia Storm with the 1 goal on the board in the 26th minute. Greg Stratton is first of the season. Free kick from just north of the arc. It's the only goal of the match. And we're underway here in the second 45. Storm dressed in their dress blues at home. They're going to be going from left to right here on 11 Sports in the second 45. 865 Alliance in their road whites. They're going to be going from right to left. Once again, thanks for accessing us however you are doing so tonight. John Nelson here with you. We'll take you through the second 45. Because once again, remember, coming into tonight, one of 3 matches here in the NPSL Southeast. Pressure early from Georgia Storm. Pinning 865 into the corner. Trying to get out of the jam. They finally do up the left-hand side. Jay White disrupting Josue Camacho. Center ref requesting that the throw from Isaac Dorsey be back more towards center line. And we do have some substitutions. For 865 here. It's going to be a corner for 865. And it looks like it'll be Min Lee to take. And now with the sun having fallen behind the high hills here in Carrollton, not as much of a squint, both hands in the air, low chip headed up into the air. Second chance Townsend. And 865 can't keep it from going over the end line. That was Josue Camacho trying to get the late save, and it's going to end up being a goal kick. Bailey, Jay White, Damian Dominguez gets around the trouble in the traffic, taken down that time by Camacho. Another push in the backwash that time by Gabe Martin. Dominguez, Jay White, and now Pierre. Pierre pushing it forward. Looking for Osman Bazic, getting there quickly was Darren DeMeza. Won back just as quickly once again by Greg Stratton. Stratton to Pierre. Tries to go back heel. Goes back heel instead to 2 865 players, but nice backtracking there by Stratton to win it back for Georgia Storm. Pierre in the middle. again, Pierre getting a touch from Stratton. Elkins sweeps it over to Jay White. Orlean Vasquez is there. You could tell that Andrew Elkins is less than pleased with the effort of some of his teammates. Shot and in, equalized just as quickly right there. Pressure by 865. Pressure there in the turn. And early in the 50th minute, we are tied at ones. Once again, the pressure creates the turnover. Right there at the top of the 18, getting a little space. Pulls it back to the left, fires and gets it past.
Let's go!
Robert Bailey. Once again, there's your touch. Try to get a little separation, opens with the left. Bailey did get a hand on it, but we're now tied at one in the 50th minute. As 865 strikes first with their pressure in the second 45 minutes. .865 looking for a handball call. And they do get it, and it's going to be DeMeza. Pressure on DeMeza now from Georgia Storm. Townsend. Pierre there to intercept for the Storm. Van Buskirk. Osman Bozic trying to get past Townsend, spins away, sweeps it in with the right. Punched clear of the 18. Pierre clamps down on it. Jay White on a couple of tricky hops. Defended by 865. White gains possession again in and around 3 865 players. Vasquez. Jay White, flicked, chance for Osman Bozic, and it goes over the bar. A little bit of chaos here in the first 5 to 6 minutes of the second half. Pierre flicked and up and over by Osman Bozic, missing the second goal of the night by that much. Bedleg with the touch. Osman Bozic just misses, ends up last being touched by 865, so it'll be a corner for Georgia Storm. Gutierrez Solis, outswinger with the right, and the header was there. Didn't quite get the angle right. As Elkins was trying to get his second goal of the season. There's the arc on it. The angle just off a little bit, and Elkins knew it too. The idea was there by Georgia Storm, early 53rd minute. Now DeMeza, part of the buildup. 865 up the left-hand side. Dorsey gets past Dominguez into the middle, and Vasquez with a lot of room. Sweeps it over to the right-hand side. Chipped up into the air, up and swatted in just as quickly. 2 goals on the board.
Let's go, 865!
Volleyed in by 865. 2 goals in a handful of minutes. And Nico Rivero gets credit for this one. Swept in. And the side volley by Rivero. Late in the 53rd minute. As Henry Nabuze sends it to the far post. Nabuze gets the assist. And just like that, it's 2-1. 2 goals in 3 minutes after having most of the control of the first 45. 865 Alliance now on the road with the 2-1 lead over Georgia Storm in Carrollton. Jay White trying to slow down the throw in by Isaac Dorsey. Maintaining it was Storm's ball. It is not. Dorsey with the throw. Rivero. And the possession sweeps around. Townsend. Defended by Stratton. And you're going to get a foul on Rivero that time. Working quickly on the restart. Van Buskirk. Center ref loses his footing. Van Buskirk looking for Osman Bozic. And so it'll end up being a throw for 865. Let's take another look at it. Oh, it was a collision. There it is. Okay, so clicking of the heels. That was where the center ref ends up finding the turf here. So Timothy Baker is now in the game. And so Baker got the goal in the 50th. That was your equalizer. Elkins having to shield Vasquez briefly so Robert Bailey could gain possession. And the Storm will start it up again. Ripa long up the left-hand side, looking for Lucas Bedlag. You're going to get a foul on Bedlag, knocking over Ben King. Remember, coming into tonight, conference standings, 865 had hit all of the columns so far this year. They were 1-1-1, 4 points, fourth place, because they were behind App FC in goals scored. Georgia Storm coming into tonight with a record of 0-2-1. At the bottom of the table with that 1 point so far this season. So there you go, halfway through the 57th minute, 1-0 Georgia Storm at the half. 2 goals in 3 minutes by Baker and Rivero have flipped the script, and 865 is ahead as Vasquez works his way through the middle. Pierre is in pursuit. Dropped off to the right. Through ball attempted by Min Lee. Van Buskirk now working it forward to Gutierrez Solis. Spins away from Nobuze. Van Buskirk loses possession. Min Lee 3-on-3, lays it off to the right. Edge of the 18. Min Lee thought about winding up. Nobuze up and over everything. It'll be a goal kick. Let's take another peek. Lee laying it off for Nobuze. Nobuze kind of arching his back. You see him arching his back, so that ball's going to take a natural lift to it. Goes over the far post, goal kick. So once again, that's where we are. 2 goals in a 3-minute span by Baker and Rivero. Go from 1-0 down to 2-1 up for 865 Alliance, who made the 4-hour trek from Hardin Valley here to Carrollton. Pierre in the middle. And you're going to get a set piece just outside the box, probably 22 or 3 yards away. Foul on Ben King as Pierre was trying to cut to his left. You see Pierre and King with the takedown. And there it is, right? 22 or so. Let's see who's Gutierrez Solis is there. I'm going to say 21 with 3 strides outside the 18. The last time Stratton had one of these, it went up and over Darren DeMeza to give Storm the advantage in the 26th minute. 4 on the wall and too much on at that time. For Stratton, goes up and over everything. It'll be a goal kick. You see 4 on the wall for 865, trying to work it to the corner, just got under it too much. Pressure coming from Georgia Storm. Going to be a quick throw, Jay White. Thought about finding Damian Dominguez. As Van Buskirk to his left. Works it into the middle, finding Lucas Bedleg. Bedleg pressured. And here comes Orlean Vasquez. Trying to combine with Camacho. Back heel, Van Buskirk. Nicely done, Jay White. Looking for Dominguez. Gutierrez Solis, double team, loses it. And they're going to get a call on Van Buskirk. He was trying to launch it centrally. Substitution for 865, and that'll be the night for Min Lee after 60 minutes. And coming in for 865 is Sebastian Chara. So Chara checks in with 30 minutes to go. Losing possession on the slide was Dorsey. Pierre now in the middle. Bump from behind. No whistle there. Osman Bozic gets it back to Pierre. Pierre thinks about it from 35 and sends it up and over everything and down the hill. So that's the first ball lost here in the second half. Pierre had a window, thought he'd chase after it, and that ball just kept gaining elevation. Went over the nets that traditionally keep the ball from going down the hillside. Launched it up and over those. Van Buskirk tries to keep it away from Chara. Ball goes out, and Townsend will throw it into Timothy Baker. Baker into the middle and Gabe Martin. Baker scored the first of 865's 2 goals. Osman Bozic tries to get it away from Townsend. He does, but he was last to touch, so it'll be a throw for 865 here late in the 62nd minute. Baker into the middle to Gabe Martin. Orlean Vasquez. Dominguez gets it away from him. Pierre. Gutierrez Solis trying to dribble out of traffic. He's triple teamed at various points. And it looks like the foul's going to be on Baker. Gutierrez Solis quickly. Van Buskirk center circle. There's Gutierrez Solis getting bumped off the ball. Jay White. And it looks like, it sounded like anyway, that Orlean Vasquez got a piece of it. Let's see if we can check the rotation of the ball here. Jay White, maybe the tip of the boot. They're going to say that it did right there. There it is. Nicely done. Good work by the production gurus here tonight. So it will be Gutierrez Solis looking near post, looking for Bedlag. Ricocheted back out, recycled, and the volley was over the bar. Pierre had the chances. He was closing ground from just shy of the penalty spot. And it's going to be a triple change for Storm. Let's see whose nights are over here. Bedleg's night is done. Damian Dominguez's night is done. Gutierrez Solis's night is done. So triple change for Georgia Storm with 30 to go. Alex Guzman is in with 30 to go. We'll see who else has come in. So 25 to go. Fresh legs in for Georgia's Storm. Pierre gets called for a foul on Josue Camacho. You see the closing of the ground right there. An opportunity for Anand Denis, who is in as well. Shut down by that whistle. So that's 2 of the 3. It is Alex Guzman and Anand Denis. Osman Bazic wins possession. Had a partner to his right, Baker. Let's see if Baker saves it in time. Yes, he does, so it's not a corner. There's Michael Meyer on the 8-6-5 bench. Trying to direct a little traffic with 25 to go. There's Michael Meyer and his staff. So it will be a deep throw for Guzman. And it looks like another substitution. There's your Bivens-based bench of the Georgia Storm. Down inside the 6, up into the air. Headed twice, chested down, spun away and cleared by Nico Rivero. Jay White once again regaining possession. Looking for Osman Bazic. Gets away from Townsend. And they're going to say that Osman Bazic touched it last, as he was there with Gabe Martin and Townsend. So it'll be a deep throw. Chance for Storm to create a little pressure here. Headed down by Pierre, so gaining about 30 yards off the one throw is 8-6-5. Substitution once again for 8-6-5, and the night is done for Orlean Vasquez. So we'll get your substitution when they're active. Baker up and over the top looking for Nobuze. Marking him as Stratton toward the top of the 18, 1 hop and 2. And it's a whistle, and it'll come back the other way as JP Vital is now in the game for 8-6-5 Alliance. JP Vital wearing 16 has one of the goals of the season for Michael Meyer's bunch. So Sebastian Chara is in, Timothy Baker is in, Henry Nobuze is in as part of the changes here in the second half for 8-6-5 Alliance. Osman Bazic kind of checked off the ball a little bit. That one was by JP Vital. So it'll be a throw for Osman Bazic here halfway through the 68th minute. He will yield. And so Alex Guzman will do the throwing honors. Backing up as far as he can. Looks like he's going to try and throw it as long as he can toward the 6. Headed up into the air. Osman Bazic trying to track it down. Waits for the second bounce. Van Buskirk there to close the distance. Guzman. He's stood up. Defense for 8-6-5 is there. And the work is done that time by Josue Camacho. That ends up being a goal kick here early in the 69th minute for 8-6-5 Alliance, up 2-1. Baker and Rivero, the 2 goals in the 50th and the 53rd, go from 1-0 down to 2-1 up, and that's where we are here in the NPSL Southeastern Conference. Pierre with the first touch. Chested down, 8-6-5 with yet another run. Herrera Garcia. Closing the distance, Kenny James is now in, but here comes back the other way, Nobuze. Wants to cut it back inside, looking toward the top of the 6. Defended well that time by Georgia Storm. Guzman. Looking long over the top. Kenny James was held up. Rolls all the way in to Darren DeMeza. And with 20 minutes to go, he'll kind of slow things down a little bit. Long launch up and over Townsend. Jay White looking, finds Guzman on the throw. Stood up, has to go to Van Buskirk center circle. Ripa. Stratton looking to a Kenny James. James cuts it back to his left. Gets away from the double team, popped up into the air. Nobody there but 8-6-5. Tricky hop. DeMeza having problems, but the defense is there for him at the edge of the 18. Dangerous chance there for the Georgia Storm to try to equalize it too. DeMeza got fooled by the hop, but he had reinforcements and they cleared it away. Van Buskirk to Guzman. Back to Andrew Elkins. Cesar Ripa. Looking for Van Buskirk long down the left-hand side. Van Buskirk won the ball off the header. Looking for a Kenny James. Pierre mishandles. Guzman wants to wind and fire up and over everything, and it'll be a goal kick. Georgia Storm's last 2 chances have been from about 30. You see Guzman try to give himself a little bit of room. The second chance in a row now on net for Georgia Storm have come from long range, well outside the 18. Both high on target. Both give 8-6-5 the chance to kind of slow things down a little bit with a 2-1 lead and under 20 to go. Pierre Van Buskirk. Chipped back on the return. Nice control there by Pierre. Van Buskirk looking for a Kenny James. Van Buskirk, and you're going to get a foul on Timothy Baker. So just inside 10 yards from center line. Let's take another look at it. There's the tail end of the play. Contact just before that. Now 73rd minute. Storm looking for an equalizer. Elkins, Ripa. Baker kind of buzzed the tower a little bit, forced him into a choice. Kenny James back to Ripa. Stratton. Ripa has to retreat a little bit. Pass into the middle and on the turn and on Denise. Kenny James. Back to Anon Denise. Stratton just at the edge of the 18. Start, stop. Tries to get through the defense. Well defended there by 8-6-5. And they get out of their own 18. Down the right-hand side, Nobuze. Ripa is there, keeping an eye on what direction he wants to go. Wants to cut it to his right, go a little deeper. Well done there. Saved by Robert Bailey. Big save by Bailey with 17 to go to keep it at 2-1. The long strides by Nobuze. The sliding save. There it is. Stands his ground. Bailey with the save, but it ends up being a throw 10 yards away from the corner flag. With a 2-1 lead, Sebastian Chara. Run up and throw, looking toward the 18, chested down, cleared away, but the back line is there for 8-6-5 and Gabe Martin. Baker scored the first of the 2 goals, cleared away by Elkins. Turning around and turning away. was Georgia Storm. The defense for 865 was there as we turn 75th minute. And Elkins will go all the way back to Robert Bailey. Van Buskirk and Elkins in the back and forth. Jay White and Elkins, the tag team partners there. Elkins wants to go long down the left-hand side, up and over Nobuze, looking for Akini James. He'll find him, but not before it goes out over the touchline, so it'll be a throw for 865 and another substitution coming in for Michael Meyer. And it looks like that will be the day for Josue Camacho. And checking in, Fabio Bazan here in the 76th minute. Stratton heads it down, wins possession on the turn. Guzman. Stratton on the overlap, spins away from the double team that includes Nobuze. Back to Ripa. Ripa's got Elkins center circle if he wants him. 865 pulls back a lot. Ripa wants to wind up with the left inside, looking toward the penalty spot. Pierre at the touch. Big save to Meza. Cleared away by 865. Chance was there for Georgia Storm, having to work quickly. Jay White looking for Osman Bozic, does keep it in. Second touch by Jay White. Last touch by 865. We'll try it again. Guzman. Once again backing up to the fence line. About to turn 77th minute. Guzman winding up, throwing line drive toward the penalty spot. Cleared away by 865. Jay White to Ripa. Swept in with the right, looking far post and headed away once again by 865. They'll clear it up the left-hand side. Van Buskirk tells Jay White he's got some time and space. White looking toward the penalty spot, headed up into the air by the defense of 865. Osman Bozic didn't get there in time. Pierre, Akini James, back and forth off of Osman Bozic. Looks like it hit him in the face on the attempted clearance. Has to shake it off a little bit here late in the 77th minute. Storm chasing an equalizer here late in the 77th. Osman Bozic with the touch. Disrupts it a little bit, but 865 coming all the way through. Up the left-hand side. It's J.P. Vital back to Townsend. Townsend double team. Guzman was there on the intercept, but he couldn't control it, so Townsend will throw. 78th minute. 12 plus any added time. So probably 15 because of the substitution, so probably 3 on the safe side. And Bazan will go all the way back to DeMeza, the edge of his 18. Long down the left-hand side, Elkins is there playing center field, tracked it the entire way. Jay White pops it up into the air. He returns the favor. So Martin tries to get away from all the traffic. Jay White's got it again. White, Osman Bozic. Centering pass looking toward the top of the 18 and Guzman up into the air. Not saved by Townsend at 865, so it'll be a throw for Georgia Storm. Center ref giving Townsend a bit of a warning there. No more of the time-wasting stuff. Van Buskirk, nice flick to the outside of the boot, too much on it, looking for Osman Bozic. It'll be a goal kick. You can hear the encouragement from stormkeeper Robert Bailey. 10 minutes to go. DeMeza with the launch. Last touch by J.P. Vital. And so it'll be a throw for Jay White. Sub coming in for Georgia's Storm. And it's going to be for Jay White. So Jay White's day is done. And when he's active in the play, we'll figure out who it is. And Denise throw gets all the way back to Robert Bailey. Ripa long with the left, up and over the top. Two players are there for Storm. Kenny James couldn't handle it. Too much was there for him. And it looks like it's Julio Neto who has checked in for Storm here in the 81st minute. So 2 in, 11 out for Storm with 11 to go. Long ball down the left-hand side. Bailey will get there first. Grabs it inside his 18. Bowls it with the right over to Ripa. And Storm are at it again. Well done to defend there by Sebastian Chara. So it'll be a deeper throw for Ripa. Ripa will just go ahead and throw it in toward Bailey. Under 10 minutes plus any added time to go. Storm get a goal in the 26th at a 1-0 lead at the half. 2 goals in 3 minutes in the 50s. Flip the script. Baker and Rivero for 865 Alliance. And that's where we are at 2-1. Long ball looking for Osman Bozic, headed down. Swept out and just launched long into Storm's defensive half, and they'll regroup. And on Denise. Pierre. Osman Bozic on the right. Past Townsend, sweeping, looking far post, punched away by DeMeza. Second chance, couldn't be grabbed by the Storm. Back out the other way from the far post, up their right-hand side on the charge was Nobuze. And it looks like it's going to be a throw for Georgia Storm. Let's take another peek at this. DeMeza with the punch gives it enough of a lift to where it's away from the far post. So the chance was there for Georgia Storm as they chase another equalizer here in the 83rd. Ripa. He's got Elkins. That's where he goes. And here comes the 865 defense. Elkins looking far post. Up and over everybody, headed up into the air by Nobuze over the end line. It'll be a corner for Storm. And Van Buskirk will take late in the 83rd. Right hand raised quickly, looking toward the penalty spot. Flick, header, cleared away. Not all the way out, up into the air. Second bounce, Neto couldn't control it. Pierre finally does. But here comes 865 the other way, Nobuze, as Pierre tries to slow that attack down. He does. It'll end up being a throw for 865. Had a 2-on-1 developing down the right-hand side. There's the applause from Michael Meyer, appreciating the effort for 865 in that run. Foul on 865, and it looks like it's going to be let's take a peek at it here. Trying to storm through. That's going to be on Chara. Players are wanting a card on the takedown by Chara. They don't get it. Late 84th minute. Dangerous ball, almost didn't have enough velocity on it to get it from Ripa to Elkins. So Bailey to Ripa again. Chada closing space. Long ball by Ripa up and over the top. Can they get there in time? The answer is no. Anand Denise tried to get there to keep it at the far post. They're going to say that it was touched by 865, so it'll be a corner for Storm. Looking toward the penalty spot, headed up into the air. McKinney James. Pierre will get there. Recycled play, nicely done there by Chada to defend, so it'll be another throw once again for Storm. Long wind up and a throw. Swatted down out of the 18, poked away but not all the way out. James wants to turn and fire, give to Osman Bozic. Tries to work his way down the right. On the ground, chances there and cleared by Baker. Another chance by Storm. Great command there, and they're going to say that it wasn't as great a command as we thought. J.P. Vital thought he headed it and kept it in, but he did not, as he was going back and forth with Bazan. Had a second ball in play briefly. As Anand Denise is there to throw. And he'll yield to Elkins. Once again, halfway through the 86th minute. Storm chasing an equalizer. 2-1 down for about the last 30-plus minutes. Elkins will throw to Ripa. Ripa, long with the left, kind of get caught up in the breeze a little bit, headed down. Pierre settles Van Buskirk. Van Buskirk looking toward the top of the 18, kept in. Osman Bozic. He's been wanting to do something from the right, pulls it back to his left, poked in, cleared away by the defense for 865. It'll be a throw once again. Osman Bozic. He's going to hang on to it and wait for Guzman. Guzman toward the 6. Flick header into the air by 865. Osman Bozic double teamed. Swatted at by Denise. Popped up into the air by Bailey. He didn't catch it flush. Denise didn't get it for the flick header either. 865 has a bit of a chance here. But Denise, nicely done there. Stands up defensively. Goes long, looking for James, headed back by the back line of 865. Guzman tries to pursue. Denise gets it now. Denise, Osman Bozic. Wants to cut in on Townsend. He does. With the right near post, cleared up and away. Frantic times here for Georgia Storm as they're chasing an equalizer. About 2.5 at any other time added by the center F as he deems fit. So Guzman with the long throw up against the fence line toward the 6. Missed the first header attempt, but Guzman swats at it. Near post, cleared away. Another throw for Guzman, wasting no time. Give to Ripa. Ripa. Once again, the outside of that left, and it looked like the wind kind of caught it a little bit, but tracking it down was Storm and Julio Neto, and they're going to call Neto for the foul. You guys see, there's Neto in pursuit. Slides down well to the left of the ball. Another chance once again. James, 2 on 3. James pulls to his left some more. Loses possession to 865, sending it just long and away. Under 1.5 minutes to go. Quick throw-in attempt. Pressure coming from 865. Give to Denise. While Bailey has to find a way to get back in net. Pierre settles. Denise up the right-hand side looking for Osman Bozic. Not enough on it. Shielded away by Townsend. And wasting as much time as they can is 8-6-5. Townsend kind of looking down the left-hand side of his attack. Pierre heads it up into the air. Denise doing the neighborly thing, making sure that it's caught so the time wasting isn't at a premium. Townsend, long throw just into the corner, trying to get it to Chada. Chada sends it away. Pressure available from 8-6-5. Denise was too far up on his throw, so now Guzman will take over. And he'll run up to the point to where Denise was when they told him to reset the throw. Denise taken down. Now you finally do get the whistle. You get a foul call on Bazan. So we're now 90th minute. The amount of time. Discretion added on the field. Bailey sending everybody away. Bailey both hands in the air. 40 seconds in to the added time. Up into the air, looking toward the top of the D. First touch, 8-6-5. Chada tried to close the distance. Ripa to the left. Denise. James, header, back to Osman Bozic. 8-6-5 comes away with it. Once again up the middle. And the chances there in transition on the run. 8-6-5 with a chance to get a third goal on the board late. Pushed through and swept nicely away by Ripa to keep it at 2-1. Denise tried to scoop it to himself. Chada into the far corner. And Denise called for the foul on J.P. Vital. Vital is down outside the corner flag, grabbing his right knee. So there's J.P. Vital, and there's Denise. Foul right in front of the AR. So J.P. Vital finally is up. And because of the foul on Denise, you've got Chada, you've got J.P. Vital, and you've got Bazan all kind of hanging out. Bazan starts it. They're just going to go into the corner to try to kill time. Chada has it poked away. It's going to be a corner for 8-6-5. Coming up on 2.5 minutes plus the 90. And this will not be a lengthy corner. They're just going to try to kill time there at the corner flag. They're going to say it was touched last by Chada. Bailey has got help to his right in Elkins. It's probably last chance for Georgia Storm here. Elkins going long, looking for Osman Bozic. Headed up into the air. James leaves it. Elkins throws into James. Coming up on 3 minutes gone, probably the last chance for Storm. James, long with the left, looking for Denise. Denise heads it up into the air. Flicked forward, Chada trying to steer away from Van Buskirk. Crossed over to the left, and Bazan now with nothing but space and time. Pierre, Denise trying to close ground. Pierre there to defend. Each trying to shoulder off the other, Bazan and Pierre. Denise trying to help out. And you're going to get a foul called. And a shove late by J.P. Vital on Denise. And disagreements here with J.P. Vital. Denise gets a yellow, as does J.P. Vital. Center ref checks his watch. We'll see how much more time he allows here as we're in the 94th minute. Bazan keeping an eye on Robert Bailey. Now finally yields the space. Bailey trying to direct a little traffic here. Bailey up into the air towards center line. Van Buskirk, too much for him. Elkins gets there. The headers back and forth continue. Vital, Denise, Chada. Elkins tried to go with the slide to keep possession. He could not. Baker trying to kill some time. He'll just chunk it forward. He does. Denise looking long for Osman Vazic. Too long. Up into the air by 8-6-5. Chada. Elkins got there first. Ripa with the left, looking for Van Buskirk down the left. Osman Vazic will get there. Townsend marking him. Van Buskirk toward the penalty area, settled down. Chance stood up. Storm fans want to whistle, don't get it. Here comes 8-6-5 back the other way in Vital, and Bazan. Baker doesn't have possession. Pierre does. Guzman surveying as we're halfway through the 5th added minute. Osman Vazic has Van Buskirk with him. Townsend and Osman Vazic both hit the deck, and that'll do it. Georgia Storm had a 1-0 lead at the half on a free kick from Greg Stratton, but then the second half pressure, 2 goals on the board, one from Timothy Baker in the 50th, one in the 53rd from Nico Rivedo, the assist to Nobuze, and it's a big 3 points on the road for Alliance 8-6-5 as they get their second win of the year and improve to 2-1-1. Georgia Storm with the loss dropped to 0-3-1. For our fantastic production crew here within the confines of the University of West Georgia Wolves Soccer Complex, I'm John Nelson. Thanks for hanging out with us here as Alliance 8-6-5 beats the Georgia Storm by the final of 2-1 here in the NPSL Southeast. Everybody's going to come back next time around and keep an eye on what's going on in the NPSL Southeast because it is one of the toughest conferences in all of the NPSL. Next time through, after this match, 8-6-5 Alliance travels to Appalachian FC to take on App FC at Ted Mackerel on June 3rd. Next up for Storm is a trip to Charlottetown and the CSA Ortho Carolina Sportsplex next Sunday to take on Charlottetown Hops. For everybody here in Carrollton, that's Georgia Storm Soccer on 11 Sports. Alliance 8-6-5 winners by the score of 2-1. Play it safe, everybody. We'll see you next time.